Hello, my name is Harvey. I'm going to be talking about honesty. So, yeah. I believe that when you put the two variables of how honest you are and how much you care onto a graph, it looks like a positive quadratic. Why is that? Generally speaking, I find I have the most confidence in myself to be honest when speaking to people that A, I don't have any care for at all, strangers, most of my course mates, and people whose perceptions of me I am not bothered to attempt to control, and B, the people whom I care for as much as I can, my closest friends and family. Why does this dip exist? This connection of honesty and care is linked to the relationships I hold that are largely transactional, where I, or the other person, believe we have something to gain from each other and have an ulterior motive that requires a cooperative relationship, be it something as explicit as getting them to complete an aspect of a group project, or even just as an ego boost. In this grey area, withholding the truth or straight up lying to these people is the most common for me. Naturally, these relationships are also the most present as a growing adult, since the majority of children haven't learned as many social cues, whilst on the other end, the majority of elderly don't feel like they have as much to lose. I lied a lot back then, for different reasons, both small and big, of which have likely limited the progress or straight up ended the relationships I thought I treasured. Looking back, I subconsciously learned that if what I thought was the truth wouldn't benefit/maintain people's perception of me, I should lie. So I did exactly that, again and again, until either time apart or my pent-up guilt ended the relationship. Because of said past, I'd made it a goal to be honest with others, and it's even more important nowadays, considering how much more significant decisions feel. Not to imply lying to others is inherently bad, it just introduces a reality to someone else that you will have to keep track of. Lie enough and you might get confused, tired, or both. Ultimately, only you have control over your perspective and the justification for why you lie in each situation, what benefits that lie would bring, and how that will make you happy. Anticipate potential consequences if you can, humbly admit when you are caught out, and give your intention if you think it will help. I spend more time nowadays trying to mentally move and sort people out from this area because of this guilt that I feel towards them. After having spent so much of my life worrying about everyone's perception of me, I try my best to develop intentions that feel straightforward. Not just because I think everyone deserves more honesty, but also because honesty with myself is what defines an important aspect of authenticity. In the same way that if I was talking about someone in a generally negative light, you can bet that I've either already said this to them before, or I plan on doing so. Criticizing people whom you don't care for in some inherent way feels like a waste of time. Naturally, this is much easier said than done, because gossip is kind of fun. However, please remember that it is kind of useless to intentionally imply you are better or worse than someone, because we have all lived our lives differently. You could have been put in someone else's position, and for all we know, you could have done worse than said person you are criticizing. You could have also done better. Ultimately, we will never know, and for that reason, this line of holier-than-thou thinking is futile, and also kind of unhealthy. The same goes for the other way around. Thinking you are inherently worse isn't healthy either. Fundamentally, you are just different, and that's all there is to it. It was once said in an Instagram caption that we should be beautifully, brutally honest. By all means, being brutally honest will always come with the risk of making people uncomfortable, be it positive or negative. And I agree, let your emotions be known. People deserve to know the truth if that's what they want to hear. But also, by any means possible, being beautifully honest vocalizes your consideration for how the recipient might react, having the grace required to communicate said feelings and thoughts in a coherent and vulnerable manner, even if you might be emotionally tweaking. It's all about balance, so try to express yourself in such a way that shows your guard is genuinely down, that there is no opposition, that all you want is for them to understand you. That being said, you will make mistakes, and people will make mistakes in their honesty towards you, be it because of the hostility you feel is present in their words, or because of your insecurities towards said truth. You should expect yourself to act with humility regardless of how it made you feel, and take what lessons you can from it. Maybe you are too insecure about certain things, and maybe you aren't. If said views on who you are differ between how you see yourself and how certain people see you, you have the choice to see why that bridge in perception exists in the first place, and address why you feel the way you do, depending on who is being honest with you and how much you value their perspective. These difficult conversations are important, and they do have the frightening power to make or break relationships. Provided you can tell yourself that you had a healthy and productive intention and have tried your best, there is nothing else expected of you. In having this courage, you will find progress in your satisfaction with life, surrounding yourself with people who have a mutual intention in being honest with themselves and you, not afraid to be seen trying to figure out who they want to be and the things they want to achieve. Once again, the intention to be honest is important. We are only human, and we will be inclined to hide, suppress, and lie for the sake of comfort. As long as said intention can be made clear to you, and you can do the same for others, we will all be okay. At the end of the day, we're fundamentally social creatures looking to feel at home. And at the end of our lives, we're only going to be reminiscing about said home, the quality of the relationships we made with others and within ourselves. We need each other. So do your best to be beautifully, brutally honest.